Hello everyone, it's Diana from Raw Foods Made Simple, and today I'm going to talk to you about jar sprouting. So I've got a few things on the go here. One of them is, these are mung bean sprouts. So they are from the mung beans that you can buy them in bulk. They are green, round, hard little beans. Well, they're actually really round circles. Anyways, so you put some in the bottom of a jar. This is how you start it. Maybe about that much, quarter cup or so. And then you add, maybe 3/4 full of water. And then the beans with the jar of water is just going to sit on your counter for soak for about 12 hours. Now, some sprouts soak shorter times. You can probably find that. Just Google it on the internet, whatever sprouts you're doing, and find out the time that they suggest to soak them for. So I soak these for about 12 hours. And then what you do is you take all the water out. So let's say that there's water in here and it's just soaking on your counter. This is a sprouting lid. You can buy them at a health food store, and it has really fine holes in the top, and it's plastic. So that'll be screwed onto the lid. It doesn't fit very well in this jar. And then you just want to rinse it. So you just want to take all the water out. So you just want to tip it like this and let the water pour out. And then you're going to shake, and the rest of the water will come out. And now your sprouting is going to begin. So what you need to do is put it at about a 45-degree angle or so into some container. So it sits like this, and the bit of water that's in there will drain and collect in the bottom here. You're going to let that sit for about 6 hours. Then after 6 hours, you're going to go through this rinsing process again. Tip it up. I'll show you on these ones. So anyway, so that is the mung beans, but I'll just show you how to rinse with these. These are some little sprouts. They're like sandwich sprouts or something. You buy them in a little package, sprouting seeds, and they come different varieties and flavors. And these ones is like a sandwich blend. So they have alfalfa and broccoli and onion and radish sprouts. And I'll have you take a look at these. These are sprouted already. So as you can see, they're just really fine little sprouts, and they start out as little tiny seeds. So you soak them the same. You put the seeds in here, you fill it with water almost, and you let it sit and rinse them every 6 hours. So I'll show you how to rinse them. So we have it here. Now I'm pouring in the water like that. There's the water. And then you adjust. I can put the lid on. It's a little full. And then I'm just going to swoosh it around in the sink. So you just swoosh like this, because you want to get it all mixed up and rinsed. You want all those sprouts to be rinsed. Before they've sprouted, they're much easier to rinse. And then you just let all the water pour out through the lid, and I'm just shaking it to make sure that the bulk of the water is out there. You just want a little bit left in. It doesn't matter if there's a little bit. So just the bulk of it's out like that. And then again, if I was to sprout these more, or if it was the beginning of the sprouting process, I put it in a container at about 45 degrees and let the water drain into that. So that is all. So, and then you rinse them every 6 hours. Now, if you're at work or sleeping, you're not going to wake up after 6 hours. You just soak them all day or all night. So when you get home from work, then you just would do the rinsing process again. And then you would rinse before you go to bed. Now, if you happen to leave it about almost 12 hours before you rinse, I haven't had a problem with that. If you go beyond 12 hours, if you completely forget about your sprouts sitting on the counter and you haven't rinsed them for, let's say, 24 hours or so, you know what? I think you might have to throw them away, because you really got to watch. Sprouts can get bacteria in them that can make you very sick. So it's always good to start with soaking just a little bit and just get used to the whole process, instead of having to throw out a huge amount of sprouts because you forgot or you didn't rinse them properly. Or something like that. So that's what you want to be careful of. So I would say start with a bit, get used to the whole process first. Super easy though. If you rinse, around every 6 hours, or like I said, not over the 12-hour limit, then you're fine. And just make sure you shake the sprouts away from the lid so it doesn't clog the holes. And then tilt them again and let them sit. Now my mung bean sprouts, these are for sure ready to eat today. They probably could have been eaten yesterday. So 4 days would have been yesterday, 5 days today. That's how long it took me to do these sprouts. Now these fine like little sandwich sprouts, 5 days, and they're good to eat today. I could leave them for another 2 or 3 days to keep sprouting them, and the stems will get longer. So that's okay too. You don't want to eat them too soon with a short sprout. They'll be quite bitter. They're also really seedy. They get really caught in your teeth. So that is for these salmon sprouts. Now another sprout I have is a lentil sprout. I have just kept them in the basket here. These are actually green lentils. So I buy organic green lentils and I go through the same process as this, put them in a jar. Now, they got a little big for the jar, so what I did was I have them in like this colander here, and I just rinse them in this and place it in something so it can drain, and then you can cover it. Now you got to rinse these quite often if you do not have them in a jar, because they will definitely dry out fast sitting like this. A lot of air gets in them. So preferably you would still keep them in a jar. But these are actually I can eat today. So I don't mind keeping them in this and then just rinsing them and eating. Now to store them, once they've sprouted the amount you want them to sprout, you would, what you can do is you can lay out a tray or something with paper towel or a towel, throw the sprouts on top and just let them, the towel or the paper towel absorb some of the excess water, and then put them into a jar with the lid. I like to keep these types of lid on them, and you can just have them sit in the fridge stood up. Or you can put them like in a glass container with a lid or something on top and keep them in the fridge. How long will they last in the fridge? I try to eat them within 3 days while they're in the fridge. That's what I try to do. I've made a lot right now. I don't usually make this much. So that's what I mean. Start with smaller batches and see how you do. If you have any questions, contact me through my blog, www.rawfoodsmadesimple, and it's Diana Marchand, and I hope you have fun with your sprouts. It's pretty easy, so give it a try, and they're extremely nutritious.